The main contention about Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party is that they're attacking the personality of Trump. Funny enough, Tulsi Gabbard said the same thing. Personality is not the indicator of success, but now let's talk personality? It's fine. Maybe it's a general narrative, or maybe it's just a coincidence. Let's assume it is. But then he says, well, these 3 to 5%, these are the people that are a problem. Funny thing is, you will have them on the left. You'll also have them on the right, by virtue of them being disinterested in politics. With your own argument, Kamala is now moving to the center, which is his position. He's claiming to be the center, or close to the center. The Morgan attacks were actually stronger, in a way, than Peterson himself. If you want to support Trump, this is not the way you do it. These are bad arguments. Now we have Jordan Peterson and Piers Morgan in a show which is almost just part of the campaign of Donald Trump. The video was titled by Piers Morgan as Jordan Peterson does not trust Kamala Harris. Now in a 1 hour video, it takes him about 40 minutes to get into that matter, the title of the video itself. It was just 40 minutes of Jordan Peterson's bad theories about life. I will address that later. Every team now has his channels. Piers Morgan has actually talked for about 40 minutes. He talked about other issues concerning the left that's going to support the Trump narrative versus the Democrat narrative. Talking about mental health and how that affects economy and how freedom of opinion is being attacked. The thing you note are the similar arguments. They're not really that different. I want to get into the critiques itself. How Peterson justifies that he doesn't trust Kamala Harris, but he trusts Trump. These are the arguments that you shouldn't use at all. I think that if you want to support Trump, this is not the way you do it. These are bad arguments. Let's see what he says. When Pierce asked him, well, why do you trust Trump? Who would you vote? He said he trusted Trump and he doesn't trust Kamala. What he said is the best predictor is the past performance, right? And it's not personality. Funny enough, Tulsi Gabbard said the same thing in a conference before, but let's not say they're working off a script here. Maybe it's a general narrative, or maybe it's just a coincidence. Let's assume it is. He says, no, it's about personality, it's about intelligence. But then he swoops over again to talk about the 4 years we have Trump as a track record of a good economy, no wars, the Abraham Accords, listing some of his accomplishments. This is what's called circular reasoning. You see, funny thing when you talk about the economic points, well, he didn't derail that. He said that America has been the same powerhouse with Trump and with Biden. Both are working with deficit margins and high inflations. Both were. And the economy is just great. And it's kind of similar between the two. Even with the higher prices, like grocery store prices, the minimum wage is also higher by 18%. He likes Trump because he likes his rule. And I ask him, why do you like his rule? Well, because I like his rule. You need to actually mention why you liked his rule. Give me the reasons and the reasoning behind that. Not just that, well, duh, you're going to support him because you supported him before. You're going to support him because you think what he said is good. What are these things? So the first point about the economic growth thing, that falls off really easily and quickly. He talks about wars. How the Biden administration held foreign policy. Well, according to polls, people actually care about domestic issues more, like immigration and inflation. And these are like the more decisive factors, not the foreign policy. I'm an outsider. Both of them for me are bad. And they're not really that different. I don't want to change this to talk about foreign policy, but let's talk about that later, I guess. I just want to stick to Peterson's Contradictions itself. Peterson was so hyped when he said, oh, having Elon Musk the head of efficiency of government or something like that. Well, funny enough, Musk is good news for Peterson, but not for others. I don't know the problems that he has with constraints, but I do know that there have been problems. There have been many violations and problems with how he does his business. If you want to take that red tape away, well, that shows. I did a video just before on the similarities between the ideology of Peterson and Musk. You should watch that. So let's skip that for now. But he surrounds himself with strong people like Tulsi Gabbard and others, and that he's not a narcissist because he shares the spotlight. I'm sorry, the main contention about Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party is that they're attacking the personality of Trump. So what are you doing right now? Do you want to attack the personality? Do you want to talk personality? Personality is not the indicator of success, but now let's talk personality? It's fine. Which brings us to why he doesn't like Kamala Harris. He says, well, again, let's use the same past performance prediction, which we don't really find many differences between the two. We're going to expect the same thing. I think Professor Peterson just literally said nothing. Just to show you parts of this Pierce attack now, the Morgan attacks were actually stronger, in a way, than Peterson himself. To give you a hint of that, they were talking about Hugh Edwards and how he claims mental health problems for his recent big problem. And somehow Democrats are going to support that kind of person. Their policies are going to support people like that. The funny thing is, throughout the interview, Peterson keeps saying 3 to 5% of sadist surgeons and people who manipulate the political scene, or people on social media as the leaders of the people who dictate the political scene. But then he says, well, these 3 to 5%, these are the people that are a problem. And you're going to have that with any society. Funny thing is, you will have them on the left. You'll also have them on the right, by virtue of them being disinterested in politics. With your own argument, if you're going to have crazy people on the left, what about the crazy people on the right? Should we list them? Now, one thing he does like about Harris is that she kind of performs that she's not with the extreme left or progressive left. She's moving more towards the center. The thing is, after the dichotomy he's just made about the past performance that he likes of Trump, the circular reasoning argumentation, it seems to be that he's saying that Kamala is now moving to the center, which is his position. He's claiming to be the center, or close to the center. I find that hard to believe. That needs a whole argument on its own. But you know, it's Peterson. He speaks a lot. He keeps saying a lot of contradictory stuff at the same time, so it makes it tough to make a video. It makes it tough to make a video of one stream. Watch the next videos, and hopefully for more information, as an encouragement, do hit the like and subscribe.